one of the things that's happened since we moved back to town in 1998 and sent our children to B'nai Shalom is that the Judaic practice in our household has changed for the better, changed towards the more observant end of the scale. And I think one of the reasons is that the values that the children have learned have been important to them, and it's common ground for us all to talk about. B'nai Shalom was a great time. I went there from kindergarten through 6th grade. My sister went through 5th grade. I graduated as a class of 4. And there was never much of a discussion about coming back to Greensboro. And B'nai Shalom was also not much of a point of discussion. Phoebe spent from kindergarten all the way through 8th grade, as did Isaac. And Noah and I have shared a teacher in Miss Zellian. Really is kind of a coming home when you come back to the classroom. And one of the concerns that we had, despite the great experience that we have had with Phoebe, Isaac, and Noah going through B'nai Shalom, was we have 8-year-old triplets. What happens when you put 3 siblings in a class of 10 or 12? Will they be treated as individuals? It's been a wonderful success. Like any person, they all have different strengths and weaknesses, and the teaching staff recognizes that. So what they've done effectively is that they've just taken their normal teaching paradigm that they apply to a classroom full of kids, and that they've shuffled our children into it the same as they would any child.
I've long felt pulled towards the field of Jewish education. I don't think I can identify one moment at which I experienced a click, but my teachers knew that Judaism was something I took seriously. It was relevant and meaningful for me at 8 years old, at 11 years old, at 13 years old. Here, say that. So if you want to take the Siddur and follow along right here, we're going to start right here. Today was really, really exciting to see that this is continuing, that there continue to be students who find this to be equally energizing and exciting and come with an enthusiasm for this experience of being together in the B'nai Shalom community and of being able to participate in Jewish life like this. And I've continued to read Torah as I've gotten older and continue to find it as meaningful as I guess I did that first day in 5th grade.
When I first started classes at B'nai Shalom, the media center in the surrounding classrooms was the entire school. That media center was an open area, had a skylight in it. It was the lunchroom, it was the gym, it was the synagogue for a while. That's where we had all our plays for the holidays. And then outside there were a dozen or so classrooms that was the main office, and it was everything all in one. We've added the middle school classrooms, the gym, and so it's at times pretty awe-inspiring to see all the change the school has gone through. All right, Charlie! Yeah! Take it! Take it! And of course, technology was a lot different then. We had Apple II computers that had obviously limited functionality, but at the time were state-of-the-art, and B'nai Shalom invested in that state-of-the-art technology to show us what computers were. And now they have entire computer labs. They have smart boards. They have online research. After sitting in some board meetings and looking at the strategic direction of the school, it's clear that improving technology, improving our technological abilities at B'nai Shalom is a key priority for both board members and the staff.
Coming back to the school now, it's just a thrill to see how much the school has grown and how many students they now have, and just to see the size of the library.
I think the leadership of the school, Judy Groner, has just been such a vital force in getting the school to this height, and Susan Cook before her.
I have brought people in to see the school on occasions. And that is a big thrill for me, taking them through, and each class has designated ambassadors who come to the door and tell you what the class is working on now. And it just seems like the sky's the limit as far as the learning here. It's just inspiring the kids. I think it's just a wonderful place, and I'm very gratified that I had something to do with it.
Whenever I go into school and volunteer, I leave feeling great. So it's a selfish motivation as well to go in that school. And when you see the students interact, when you see middle school students high-fiving kindergartners on the way down the hall, or you see a line of second graders with their prayer books in hand marching off to morning services, it's really a great feeling. It's hard not to walk into the school and see exciting things happening.
Each Hershey Kiss has a number on the bottom that matches one of these numbers from 1 to 100. I'm going to count. 100, 99. No, I'm just kidding. 1, 2, 3. Go. Okay, where does it go?
We're looking for the 100 Hershey Kisses for the 100th day of B'nai Shalom. I'm in 3rd grade and 3rd in kindergarten and working together to find them.
We sometimes can't read the number. They can't read the numbers, so we read them for them. 69 right here.
So the community that we built in B'nai Shalom and in my class specifically really offered us a place to celebrate and to deal with the challenges of life. There was a student in my class who faced really challenging illness that caused hair loss. As a result, as she prepared to return to class, I so clearly remember that we bought hats and we decorated the hats. We knew that she would be wearing a hat upon her return to school. And the day she got back to school, we all had these beautifully decorated hats that we had made in support of her. We challenged each other, we pushed each other. It felt like being a part of a family.
Since today is Thanksgiving, we come here for a feast. 1st grade are pilgrims, kindergarten are Indians, and we are turkeys. We used paper, we followed the directions, and we tied it, and we wrote our names somewhere so then we could know which is which. And especially about this class that I love, we had the funnest teacher in the school.
One of the things you'll notice about children at B'nai Shalom is they're very comfortable talking with adults. And I think that's because they have practice doing that. So they'll go up and look an adult in the eye and shake his hand, Shabbat Shalom. I think it's a great skill set that a lot of children don't have the opportunity to experience.
This is a fruit bag.
A fruit bag.
We sell fruit. And this is yogurt.
Yogurt.
These are my tips.
Your tips? Oh, well, that's very important. Okay. Well, thank you. This looks like a really nice business. Let's see. What's this business here? Hi, Shai. What business do you have?
Parts, you fix parts for an airplane.
B'nai Shalom, I think, does a very good job of exposing students to the real world, for lack of a better term. But I think that really helps students tie together what they're currently learning with what they could be doing in the future.
In our science class, we get to do a lot of projects, and very often we get to decide what we want to do. It makes me really think that I like engineering, that I really like the idea of doing that as a profession. There are 4 main parts of a paper airplane. You need to know lift, thrust, drag, and gravity. The thrust is when you throw it forward, that's what's pushing it to keep going.
Right there?
Make sure the whole tip goes up. Fold it right to the middle. Yeah, that's a good plan.
One memory I have from B'nai Shalom was Shabbat Surprise. And one year I was actually the Shabbat Surprise. I decided I would do a magic show. I was not the kid that was comfortable getting up in front of the classroom. But here I was in front of the student body, and I don't think that would have happened in another school environment. And I think that attitude is still pervasive today. You go to the Hanukkah show or the Zimriah, and there's students up on the stage singing and dancing and telling jokes, and they're just very, very comfortable getting up in front of everybody and showing folks what they can do, showing people what they know.
So I had an opportunity to speak with the 8th graders who are eagerly preparing for their trip to Israel, and I found myself really identifying with much of what they were talking about. Just being in Israel served as a significant bonding experience. Whether or not you've been to Israel before, the opportunity to go with your B'nai Shalom class is something unlike anything else.
This wall has heard many prayers. This wall has seen the fall of many other walls. This wall has felt the touch of mourning women. This wall has felt petitions lodged between its stones.
It is customary when people travel to give them tzedakah. Give them tzedakah money so that they will have a safe trip. So I'm asking all of you who are traveling if you would be willing to be my agents in giving this tzedakah when you arrive in Israel.
The 8th grade Israel trip is in many ways the pinnacle of the B'nai Shalom experience. They have spent so many years learning about Tikkun Olam, what they can do to make the world a better place, and on this trip they have the opportunity to actually perform acts of righteousness, and like many, many students before them, this will be the trip with which they remember all of their years at B'nai Shalom. I expect great things from all of our students, and before we know it, they'll be adults doing all the wonderful things that our alumni are doing now. B'nai Shalom students today are very, very fortunate. They have limitless possibilities. They will put together all of the things that they have learned, their instruction both in terms of academics and emotional instruction. They will have the potential to do whatever they choose, to pursue their passions, to go out into the world confident and proud.
We were just going to start even with 10 children. And we just said we're going to open in September. And we got a director. We did get excellent teachers.
And it took a lot of guts for those parents to put their precious kids, what's more precious to you than your own children, and say, we're with you.
Children just, they took to it immediately.
They really did. We were so excited when they would come home with all this Hebrew and the English too. I mean, you know, this is just what we wanted. This is what we dreamed about.